How about those goddamn birds, huh? Listen, you know, going into this game, like I said, I had no expectations. I did think they could possibly beat this team. I said, you know what? If it's going to be a close game, blah, 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 because that's how Buffalo's been playing all season. But we came out. Oh, before I get to all that, let me just say this. I want to thank you. Now, looking back on it, I want to thank you, Orlando Scandrick. Thank you very much for going on the TV show on Undisputed and Colin Cowherd's show and saying how, and you know, you got cut by us, and then you went on and spilled all the beans about our locker room and everything. Because you know what? I have not seen this team, especially on defense, play with this much intensity and passion all year long. But the whole team as a whole came to play, beating Buffalo 31-13. Look, they versed a 5-1 Buffalo team in Buffalo, got it done when needed. Now at 4-4. Well, now we're 4-4. It's that simple. But as I'm saying is, Orlando Scandrick making those comments, and I did agree with everything he said on that show. Not all of it, but some of it I agreed with. I said, you know what? Yeah, it seems like it adds up to everything he's saying that's coming out of the locker room with the leaks and all that stuff. But I will say this, all right? I love that they got together and they say, you know what? We're going to prove that we're this, we're that. If you watch some of the pregame speeches, they show, you know, Lane Johnson saying how we're a family and this and that and da-da-da-da in the tunnel, you know, pregame speech. This made them get tighter as a group. Now, listen, this is only one game, okay? It's only one game. You need to do this for a few more and show, even if you're losing, even if you lose next week against Chicago, and then you go into a bye week, and then you lose to the Patriots, whatever. At least show passion and heart while you're playing to prove to us that, hey, you guys still like each other. You guys are still together. You guys are still brothers. You guys, you know, there's no divided locker room. Because today proved that when you all put it together and you all play with everything on the goddamn line, what happens? That. You win 31-13. I'll tell you what. And, you know, we're still injured. Still got no Nigel Bradham, no Jason Peters, no Deshaun Jackson, Timmy Jernigan, Malik Jackson. You ain't going to see him until next year. But I will say this. It was a statement game for us. We needed to get a win, and we got a win. But let's get into the game, though. Miles Sanders had one hell of a game. 3 rushes, I think 3 carries for 3 carries for 74 yards and a touchdown. Rips off that one carry that was a 65-yard touchdown. Rips off that one run. Boom. And you know what? That's what I'm going to get to. And that on that play, if you looked at it, they had 2 tight ends on the field, and also they had 2 running backs, Jordan Howard, Miles Sanders, and Dallas Goedert a tight end, Zach Ertz a tight end. So they put in a 2 tight end, 2 halfback set on the field. Do you see the success on that play? The defense didn't know if you were going to give it to Howard or if you were going to fake it to Howard and then throw it to Sanders or whatever, and then you just hand it off to Sanders and he goes. And then Jordan Howard did pick up a big block. Boom. For Miles Sanders to get that 65-yard touchdown. But I look back on the Minnesota Vikings game and I say to myself, I look at it and I go, on that one touchdown play, the one that was like early on in the game to get us back to Miles Sanders from Carson Wentz, and he threw it like 30 yards, and he took it 44. On that play, that was successful for a touchdown, perfect pass, perfect catch, boom, 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 right down the seam. Jordan Howard and Miles Sanders were on the field together that play too, if you remember that. Defense didn't know if you were going to give it to Jordan Howard or were you going to fake it to him, or what team was going to go out deep, or what you were going to do. And you got the running back who's a cowbell back, and then you got the running back who's the more shiftier, agile, elusive guy who can just, you know, with the speed like Miles Sanders. A few other times throughout the season, we had both on the field at one time, and as soon as they both come on the field, and with the 2 tight ends on the field, and I go, whoa, what are we gonna do here? And you know what? It's been successful each time. I want to see more of that. You know, there's been a couple play calls in the game from Doug Peterson that I didn't really like. That I was like, you know, like early on, he tried giving it to Nelson Aguilar instead of, you know, he faked it. Well, this is another thing on that play. He did a halfback toss, fake fake to Howard and handed it off to Aguilar on like a wide receiver, speed route type thing, jet flank route. On that play, to fool the defense, if I was you, Doug, if you wanted to actually call that play, why not put Miles Sanders out at running back? Because everyone on defense and everyone on that defense knows he's more of a threat in terms of catching the toss out of the backfield. He's more of a threat, Miles Sanders, than Jordan Howard. Everyone knows he's a downhill runner. Everyone knows he's a guy you hand the ball and you go shoot right up the middle, and that's it. Miles Sanders is always the guy going around the edge or getting the ball out to shotgun. So on that play, even though it got blown up because Aguilar, the fake didn't work, but even though if you wanted to call that play, successful or not successful, put the right personnel in the field. You put Miles Sanders there, it fakes out the defense more. They know he's the guy who's probably going to get the toss because he's a shifty thing. He's the shifty back who always gets the toss plays. So if you toss to him, and then you fake it to Aguilar like that real quick, he probably would have picked up something, but they sniffed it out real quick. But you see a lot of these plays and the designs of them, and you see them and you go, they're definitely designed for Deshaun Jackson, 100%. They're designed for Deshaun Jackson. And he can't call them because Deshaun's out on the field. That's that. Defense played great. Wentz, I will say this, on offense again, we go back to offense. Wentz, he did his thing. He did what he had to do. He got us in a winning position. On that final drive, when he used his legs and got a couple first downs, he did what he had to do, and he got it done. I liked his game. He played a clean game. He wasn't turnover prone. He wasn't anything like that. He did what he had to do, got the job done out of a windy day in Buffalo and cold and rainy and whatever. Got the dub. Okay, cool. Defensive side of the ball. Corners did step up. Once in a while they got burnt here and there, but they did step up well. Ronald Darby, I was surprised. On that fourth and 4, fourth and 10. Exactly what it was. I think it was fourth quarter, fourth and 10, 6 minutes and 36 seconds left or something like that. Josh Allen goes to throw the ball, and Ronald Darby, boom. I was like, wow, it's the first time I've ever seen a corner this season to literally strap up with the receiver. When Josh Allen went to throw it to John Brown, he strapped him up. And I was like, wow. But the corners played out. The whole defense played really well today. I'm not saying this is the best offense in the league, this damn Buffalo offense, but they did what they had to do. Fletcher Cox had a really solid game. I seen Derek Barnett was everywhere on the field. Every time, even whether it was him not getting a sack or whether it was him just bouncing it around, he was coming off the edge. He was doing what he had to do. I don't know, but let's go Birds, fly goes fly, on to Chicago. I don't want to keep boring you guys with stupid details. Comment below on your thoughts. I'm happy we got the win. I'm happy we won the way we won. Even if we won, I would be happy. But the way you win that way, you make a statement that, we're still together. But let's see if they really are together come next week. Go Birds.